Hello, I am Jerry Hardy, past president of the Rotary Club of San Antonio West. I welcome you to the Alzheimer's Research Project Partnership Proposal. Our club has chartered a project to collaborate with the Glenn Biggs Institute, UT Health in San Antonio. This project aims to raise funds to support Alzheimer's research. We are contacting all district governors, club presidents, and Rotarians throughout Texas. We are asking you to help the San Antonio West Club raise funds. This is a call to action. We have given our Alzheimer's research project a name. We call it Unlocking Hope, our fight to end Alzheimer's.
The agenda for the Alzheimer's Research Project proposal has 4 main parts. Part 1. Meet the project leaders and hear their Alzheimer's stories. Part 2. Gain greater insight into dementia and Alzheimer's. Part 3. Understand the Alzheimer's research mission of the Glenn Biggs Institute. And Part 4. Learn how your district or club can support this vital research project.
In Part 1, we will introduce you to the Rotarians behind the Alzheimer's Research Project. Jerry Hardy, a longtime Rotarian and past district governor of District 5840. Dwayne Hopkins, also a past district governor of District 5840. Dr. Dan Van Syke, the project team leader. And Jane Luke Hill, the Biggs Institute liaison.
Hello, my name is Dwayne Hopkins. I am the past district governor of Rotary District 5840. Let me introduce the 2 people behind the Alzheimer's Research Project. They are former Air Force flight surgeon Dr. Dan Van Syke and retired business executive Jane Luke Hill. They both have spouses with Alzheimer's disease, so they know the devastating impact. They are passionate about funding research that can one day eliminate Alzheimer's. We will hear their personal Alzheimer's stories, but first, I want to let all the district governors in Texas know that I am 100% behind this project and will reach out to each of you. Now, let's hear their personal stories. Jane Luke Hill and Dan Van Syke.
Hello, my name is Jane Luke Hill. I am a member of the Rotary Club of San Antonio West. Please allow me to explain why I am here. It's a personal story about love, loss, and the relentless devastation of Alzheimer's. Marshall is my sweet, funny, loving husband. He was intelligent and courageous. He was a decorated Air Force pilot, a Vietnam veteran, honored with the Distinguished Flying Cross, and a retired lieutenant colonel. He is also a father, brother, and grandfather. It is painful that he no longer recognizes me or his family, especially his grandchildren, who gave him such great joy. After retiring from the Air Force, he earned his MBA and worked for another decade as a specialist in corporate benefits. He loved golfing, swimming, hiking, and working out. His life was one of activity and service. Yet today, life is painfully different. He is still the man I adore, sweet, loving, and funny, but Alzheimer's has stolen so much. He recognizes me not as his wife, but as someone who visits frequently and brings hugs and comfort. His once articulate words are mostly incoherent, and he reads but with little comprehension of what the words mean. Simple daily tasks, brushing teeth, hygiene, standing up from a chair, walking, all require assistance. Each day, I brace for the inevitable progression of this disease, but I refuse to remain idle, to do nothing but watch and weep. I must do something to prevent others from enduring this nightmare. I am here, committing my time and energy to this Alzheimer's research project. I call on every Rotarian in Texas to rally with the Rotary Club of San Antonio West. Our mission is clear: to fund research that will one day eradicate Alzheimer's. Help us unlock hope for the millions suffering, like my sweet husband, Marshall. I sincerely thank you for listening to my Alzheimer's story.
Hello, I'm Dan Van Syke,
and I want to share why the Rotary Alzheimer's Research Project is deeply personal. I married my best friend Terry in 1977. She's always been my rock, supporting me in every way. To explain how much she changed my life, I would like to use an analogy of early television. Prior to meeting Terry, my life was like watching a black and white TV on a small screen. After Terry came into my life, it was as if my life was in brilliant color on a large screen set. She changed my life. She's been my best friend and an incredible mother to our 3 grown children. In 2010, Terry started experiencing unexplained anger issues. Several years of counseling didn't help to resolve her anger. Neurocognitive testing was recommended in 2014 and revealed significant memory deficits, devastating news for both of us. Her memory slowly declined. When the coronavirus hit in early 2020 and my job went remote, I realized I couldn't leave her alone any longer. I retired for good, and we moved to blue skies of Texas, hoping to delay memory care. But her condition worsened, and we had to make a tough decision in early 2022. Memory care was the best option for everyone, including Terry. Now, because of Terry, I'm driven to find a cure for Alzheimer's. I firmly believe that a Biggs Institute researcher will someday win the Nobel Prize in medicine for discovering a cure for this terrible disease. But we need all Texas Rotarians to join us. Together, we can eliminate the stigma of Alzheimer's for millions of people worldwide. Please join our research funding project. Thank you for listening.
Now, let's make sure you understand the devastating effects of dementia on millions of people globally. Part 2 will help to deepen your knowledge about dementia and Alzheimer's. Let's spend a minute to gain a better understanding of the devastation of dementia and Alzheimer's. Dementia is a syndrome characterized by memory loss, impaired thinking, behavioral changes, and difficulties in daily activities. It results from various brain illnesses and has significant physical, psychological, social, and economic impacts. Alzheimer's disease is the most common form of dementia. Dementia affects not only those living with it, but also their caregivers, families, and society at large. It is currently the 7th leading cause of death globally and contributes to disability and dependency among older individuals. Dementia not only robs people of their memories and independence, but also profoundly affects their loved ones.
Here are some sobering facts about Alzheimer's disease, according to the Alzheimer's Association. Fact: an estimated 6.7 million Americans aged 65 and older live with Alzheimer's in 2023, projected to rise to nearly 13 million by 2050. Fact: in 2023, Alzheimer's and other dementias cost the nation $345 billion, with potential costs rising to nearly $1 trillion by 2050. Fact: the most significant known risk factor for Alzheimer's is age. 1 in 3 people aged 85 or older have Alzheimer's. Next, I would like to show a video that explains the other symptoms of Alzheimer's disease, which are known as neuropsychiatric symptoms, or NPS.
Neuropsychiatric symptoms, or NPS, are the mood and emotional symptoms of dementias and other brain diseases that are often overlooked and undertreated. They can have an enormous negative impact on the patient, their loved ones, and their caregivers. Different diseases or brain injuries produce different neuropsychiatric symptoms, depending on what part of the brain is impacted. In Alzheimer's disease, a slow, fatal disease of the brain, plaques and tangles accumulate in different parts of the brain, killing cells and leading to a wide range of symptoms. Neuropsychiatric symptoms are in addition to the memory loss and cognitive changes that most people think of when they think of Alzheimer's. Because the disease is progressive, it will inevitably cause more and worse symptoms over time. Eventually, all patients will experience one or more neuropsychiatric symptoms. Neuropsychiatric symptoms are often the earliest sign of Alzheimer's disease. occurring even before a diagnosis. When combined with the early memory loss and cognitive changes, people with Alzheimer's can find that they have trouble managing finances, miss appointments, lose interest in things they previously enjoyed, jeopardize relationships with loved ones and family members, and even get themselves into dangerous situations. Without a diagnosis, these symptoms can be especially hard to understand and manage. Even after a diagnosis, the symptoms are often stigmatized and misunderstood. Depression is often the earliest observable symptom in Alzheimer's, impacting up to 40% of people with the disease. As the disease progresses, cognitive impairment can make it difficult to understand and express feelings of depression. It's important for loved ones to check in and watch for social isolation or withdrawal, changes in eating or sleep habits, agitation, fatigue, irritability, feelings of worthlessness or hopelessness, and thoughts of suicide, which can all be signs of depression. Agitation can cause pacing, sleeplessness, or even aggression, where the person lashes out verbally or physically. Apathy, or the lack of emotion or interest, usually manifests as a lack of motivation to participate in social activities and emotional indifference. Psychosis in Alzheimer's involves delusions and hallucinations. Delusions are false beliefs, like thinking that someone is stealing or hiding one's things, or that one's spouse is being unfaithful. Hallucinations are auditory or visual and can make a person believe that they are having a conversation with someone who isn't there, that bugs are crawling on their skin, or that some other impossible event is happening. Delusions and hallucinations can be terrifying for the person experiencing them and eventually cause them to distrust their caregivers and loved ones. These and other neuropsychiatric symptoms are scary, dangerous, and overwhelming for the patient and their loved ones. So difficult, in fact, that 46% of caregivers report that they placed their loved one in an institution when their behavior became too difficult to handle. But just when loved ones are deciding that they need help, care centers are known to turn Alzheimer's patients away because they are perceived to be difficult, combative, moody, and too much for them to handle. As the final straw, neuropsychiatric symptoms can also increase complications and speed up death. But they can be treated. It may be possible to treat the symptom itself, like depression, or to treat the cause, like malnutrition, infection, or side effects from medications. Behavioral interventions such as establishing routines, encouraging exercise, using light and music therapy, validating and reassuring, and making changes to environments can also help manage symptoms. For those that can't be managed with behavioral interventions alone, it can be helpful to turn to medications. It's critical that we start talking about these symptoms with our loved ones, at medical visits, and with advocates. We need to shake the stigma and recognize neuropsychiatric symptoms in Alzheimer's disease as a medical condition that can be treated to lessen the burden of an already devastating disease.
Next, Part 3, let's introduce you to Mr. Glenn Biggs and get acquainted with the Alzheimer's research endeavors undertaken by the Biggs Institute, located in San Antonio, Texas. Let me introduce Mr. Glenn Biggs. Glenn Biggs was a prominent figure in San Antonio, Texas, and was recognized for his significant contributions to economic development and community service. He was the first chairman of the board of UT Health San Antonio and raised funds to provide students and faculty with the tools needed to improve lives. When diagnosed with Alzheimer's and found that there was no comprehensive care available, he approached UT Health San Antonio and many others. His vision was a comprehensive center to transform care for Alzheimer's and advance research and discovery. This led directly to the founding of the Glenn Biggs Institute for Alzheimer's and Neurodegenerative Diseases.
Let's learn more about the research mission of the Glenn Biggs Institute. The Institute is dedicated to transforming the care and treatment of Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative diseases, providing hope and support to affected individuals and their families. Their mission: to provide a compassionate and comprehensive clinical care network for patients and their families. Access to the most advanced treatment and clinical trials. Continue to lead the research that will discover a cure for Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative diseases. Next, let's watch a short video by Dr. Sudha Shesadri, founding director of the Glenn Biggs Institute.
My name is Dr. Sudha Shesadri, and I am the founding director of the Glenn Biggs Institute at UT Health San Antonio. I'm honored to announce that we are now one of 33 centers in the nation, and currently the only one in Texas, to have achieved recognition as a National Institute on Aging designated Alzheimer's Disease Research Center. This designation takes our already excellent research and care to the next level, elevating our technology, our knowledge, and strengthening our dedication and commitment to transforming dementia care for all. Dementia is a devastatingly progressive disease that impacts everyone, and it will take everyone to fight it. As your center of excellence for dementia care and research, we are here to help you and your family. Whether you're concerned about your risk for developing dementia, need an accurate diagnosis, or access to the best clinical trials, we are here to not only serve, but also to learn from you, our diverse populations throughout Texas, so we can provide you with the best personalized care and support. And as we care for those impacted today, we will pioneer innovative, life-saving research, partnering with other designated centers throughout the nation to find tomorrow's breakthroughs. So, together with other nationally leading institutions, our patients and their loved ones, we will find new and better ways to diagnose, to treat, and one day soon, prevent dementia.
Finally, in Part 4, let's talk about collaborative efforts between your club and the San Antonio West Club. Discover how each Texas Rotary district or club can play a pivotal role in advancing this crucial Alzheimer's research effort. Now let us introduce you to the Alzheimer's Research Project. The Rotary Club of San Antonio West has initiated the Alzheimer's Research Project. The project's objectives are financial support, to allocate funds to the Glenn Biggs Institute for Alzheimer's research, early stage research, to prioritize and support research endeavors that show potential in the preliminary phases. Awareness and advocacy, to advocate and enhance the visibility and support for the Glenn Biggs Institute and its efforts in Alzheimer's research. And statewide Rotary Club collaboration, to develop a network of cooperation, backing, and donations from all Texas Rotary clubs and Rotarians.
Let's spotlight the potential for Texas Rotary districts and clubs to support the Alzheimer's Research Project. The Lone Star State is home to 6 Rotary districts and hundreds of clubs in every major city. From Houston to Dallas and Fort Worth, from Austin to San Antonio, from Beaumont to El Paso, and from Amarillo to Brownsville. For instance, District 5840 in South Central Texas has 57 clubs, exceeding 2,000 members. District 5930 in South Texas has 50 clubs with 2,000 plus members. Texas Rotarians can play a significant role in helping to fund the Alzheimer's Research Project.
We have several fundraising ideas to get you thinking about how to raise funds. Presentations by big staff with doctors and researchers, fundraising dinners, casino nights and bingo nights, raffles, walks and marathons, golf tournaments, plus your own creative ideas. We believe that every Rotary Club and Rotary District in Texas can find many ways to support this vital cause and raise funds to support Alzheimer's research. Now, to the bottom line. Let's forge a partnership to help fund Alzheimer's research. We invite you to join the Rotary Club of San Antonio West and help find a cure for Alzheimer's. We will make a difference with donations from all Rotary clubs in Texas. All Rotary clubs and Rotarian donations will directly support Alzheimer's research, which will help eradicate this devastating disease worldwide.
This is Dan and Jane to close out this presentation. I want to thank each Rotary Club or Rotary District for watching and listening to this presentation. Rotarians are people of action, and we need you to join us in funding research to eradicate Alzheimer's. We want you to know that we have the resources, the connections, the commitment, and the time to make this project a reality. Join us and forge a partnership to fund the Alzheimer's Research Project.
For additional information or to inquire about partnering with our project, please contact Dr. Dan Van Syke, email flydoc91@gmail.com, Jane Luke Hill, email janelukehill@gmail.com, Rick Nolenberger, email rickster22@gmail.com, or Jerry Hardy, email hardyj@southwestbell.net. Reach out to one of us. Please say yes. Yes, we will join your project and help create hope. Yes, we will join the fight to end Alzheimer's. Thank you for listening.
Your club treasurer and individual Rotarians can now donate directly to the Biggs Institute for Alzheimer's and Neurodegenerative Disease. Simply scan the QR code with your smartphone.